Welcome back to the Best Small Business Show. I'm Rich, and here with my host, BJ Flagg. And today we're diving into a really, really cool topic, quiet branding. That sounds
I love
quiet,
it.
quiet branding.
What?
How your company can speak softly and still win big by leveraging subtlety, humility, and authenticity to build an unshakable brand trust. So we're
Yeah,
speaking all about branding, which is BJ's middle name. So
exactly. But I have crafted with Rich very well his Rich G brand. So it's all good. The world is screaming for attention. Sometimes the softest voice cuts through all of that noise. Rich, this is a good day for a podcast.
yeah, I know. So small businesses don't really need to shout to stand out. I remember for years I tried to shout all the time, and I realized that's working against me. A
Yeah.
quiet, authentic approach, and the word authentic is so key here, can create deeper connections with customers.
So let's unpack why quiet branding is so powerful and how small businesses can take advantage of this to build trust and loyalty. Rich, kick us off.
Well, yeah, let's just dive a little deeper in why quiet branding matters. Okay. So, BJ, why is this understated approach such a game changer for small businesses?
Well, in the market, customers are bombarded with loud, flashy marketing. They're skeptical and they tune out. And when you see subtle, authentic branding, you can see it's like a breath of fresh air. It's the best type of thing.
Yeah, like attorney billboards on 95. That's you see all that all the time. Well, exactly. People crave genuineness. If your brand feels overhyped, they'll sense it.
Oh yeah.
It'll be like the Sham Wow commercial, and they're going to walk away.
Crazy Eddie, not
Yeah.
good, right? But really, quiet branding builds trust by focusing on real value. Think the Row or Chanel, that type of thing. They have real value. These aren't empty promises. It's about showing, not telling. It's a very different approach.
Yeah, and what's great about quiet branding is it's sustainable. Loud marketing burns out really, really fast. People get tired of it. But humility and authenticity create lasting loyalty.
Yeah. And small businesses can stand out and be relatable and human, not by just being the loudest in the room, but being the most authentic.
Yeah, and you come off more professional, I think. You
Oh,
come
yeah.
off like you're an authority in your industry. You're so much better. It's like, I don't need to yell and scream. I don't need
Oh,
to
yeah.
have big fonts and all that stuff. So the bottom line is quiet branding fosters trust, loyalty, and long-term growth. So let's kick it
Yeah.
up into our first action item. Be authentically you. You're going to hear us say that word authentically a lot in this podcast because it's so true. Authenticity is huge nowadays. So the first step, lean into your authentic story. Hey, BJ, why does authenticity matter so much?
Well, think about it. Customers really want to connect with real stories. They don't want polished facades and fake things going on. Share your why, your struggles, your mission. I think that is just such a hook, such a valuable thing to do.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I always thought the word facades was fakeades. So
Okay.
I say it wrong all the
All
time.
righty.
So he almost did it again. So let's give you an example. Okay, Patagonia. I have Patagonia. Patagonia shares its journey of environmental activism from the founder, Yvon Chouinard. That's even harder than fake AIDS. Climbing roots to sustainable practices because he was a climber and he invented these clothes
Yeah.
and he morphed into sustainable practices in making the clothes. So his message is raw, it's relatable, and it builds trust.
Yeah. And there's not multiple messages
Yeah.
with Patagonia. You just are part of you're part of the family when you buy a Patagonia thing. And you'll end up having it for 25 years, so be on the alert there. As yes, Rich.
Yeah, and it's funny is like I have a Patagonia jacket, and on the front of the tag it has Patagonia and has the size
Oh,
and everything, and on the back it has vote the a-holes out, okay?
no way.
and
What an
and I couldn't stop laughing. I was just like that appeals to almost everybody, and
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
like that adds that quiet authenticity that Patagonia has.
And here's the crazy thing. I used to comment on my son's Patagonia's pullover fleece, right? Oh, I love that fleece. That fleece is fantastic. So forward 15 years, I open up my Christmas present and there's the Patagonia fleece. And I gotta tell you, I was so excited, so excited. There were subtle changes, but it was the fleece. And I don't have that reaction to other brands. I just don't, you know? And I thought, oh my God, I'm part of the family now. This is the big one. But a lot of brands think, oh gosh, I'm going to be just like a big brand. You know, don't do that. Don't exaggerate yourself or mimic a big brand. You actually, as a small business, have a unique voice, and that's the voice that you need to share with everyone. And if you do, you're going to be very comfortable in yourself and being able to promote that brand.
Yeah, we're going to take it one step further with this is also try to be transparent. Okay. If you screw up, admit the flaw. Say right out, we're
Mm.
really sorry we did this. Share behind the scenes moments. Let people know about how your business works. And sometimes when you drop the ball, it builds trust with your customers and clients instantly.
Yeah, and I really feel that that's when family matters. They'll pitch in. They immediately go, "Oh no, that was just a thing that happened, and we're totally behind the brand." It's amazing how you can lean back in to your brand and the brand trust. So, action number two is under promise and over deliver. We're going to focus on a lot of different things in this section. Rich, what's your take on this?
Well, nothing builds trust faster than exceeding expectations. And this is a huge line I use with coaching is to constantly under promise and over deliver. It satisfies and makes your boss love you, it makes your customers love you. Everybody loves you because 9 times out of 10, we tend to over promise and then we get
Yeah.
caught under delivering. And
Oh,
you want
yeah.
to do the exact opposite. So promise what you can deliver, then go beyond that.
Yeah. So, I'm going to give you an example. I'm crazy about Zappos, right? Forget the fact that I can get pretty much anything that I want shoe wise there. They promise that it's going to be there in 5 and 7 days. So I kind of psych myself, get ready, right? And it shows up usually in 2 to 3 days. And it totally delights me. I am like literally so loyal to them because they have now over delivered. And they have an incredible exchange policy, all of their things. They are an amazing, comparison of this type of thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's even like Amazon, where sometimes I'll order something. I did. I ordered something the other day, underwear and socks. Oh, really
Oh, you're so
expensive,
fancy.
really fancy things. But what was interesting about it was I ordered it at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, And
Yes.
at 5 o'clock in the morning the next day, somebody was at my door dropping something off. So it wasn't
No
even 24
way.
hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you don't, you really, you say to yourself, that is a company that is drilling all the way down to you, that individual customer. How fantastic is that?
Yeah. So avoid flashy claims that sound too good to be true. Please stay humble and then wow them with your results. Okay. Don't
Yeah.
over promise. Okay.
I
Under promise.
yeah, I really feel that this is what turns one-time buyers into loyal fans who just totally want to spread your word. Customers breathe easy because they get it at a glance. It's just a fantastic thing that you can do. So before we go into action three, let me fill you in on Rich G, my co-host. Small business owners out there, I want you to be alert. Want guidance with refreshing straight talk? Rich's coaching cuts the fluff and amps your growth. Clarity, strategy, accountability, all tailored to you. Visit richg.com and feel the power of subtle but unstoppable progress.
Oh, thank you, BJ. Now,
Hey,
I
hope you liked it.
I got to do one for you too.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you. Okay, yeah,
So,
thank you.
anybody out there, if you need branding that speaks softly yet sells loudly, BJ at New Renew curates websites and campaigns that earn trust without any of that wacky theatrics. Ready for authenticity that converts? Head to newrenew.com and make quiet your superpower. Ooh, I think that should be your new
Ooh,
headline. Make
that's it.
quiet
That's
your
new.
superpower.
Come on, I'm loving it. I love that. Rich, take us into action number three.
Yeah, action three is use subtle yet consistent messaging. This is huge.
Mm.
And BJ, you've beat it into me. I think I have a tattoo somewhere on consistent messaging. Okay.
Yes, yes. Being consistent and understating messaging, it just reinforces your brand without overwhelming your audience. Think about, um, frequency wins. That's what they always say in advertising. Frequency wins, but it's more than that. It's being consistent with your messaging. So
Yeah.
not fire hose, not fire hose, but just very measured, consistent things. Something somebody can rely on is really all about it. Do you have a good example of what I'm talking about?
Well, let's talk about one of our favorite places to shop, Trader Joe's. Uh,
Yes.
Trader Joe's uses simple yet quirky kind of packaging and handwritten store signs to convey friendliness and approachability across every touch point. You
Yeah.
kind of feel like you're not in a corporate store, you're more in a local, general store feel.
Yeah. In our area, we have something called Stu Leonard's. And Stu Leonard's is so loud, so loud. Like when you walk in there, it's like a sensory overload.
Yeah.
You're really playing a game, like you are the little Pac-Man going through the little sections and stuff like that. I don't feel that way when I walk into Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
They say hello. You're looking around. The guy, I swear, there's this guy in produce, and he just is hanging, and he'll say things like, you should try the avocados. They're looking really good today. And you're like, come in
Yeah.
here. And that is that ability to keep a very consistent message. I'm trying to think of people who have the simplest logos.
Yeah.
You love that. I don't know if you remember in the show Succession.
Mm-hmm.
None of them wore logos on their shirts or
Yeah.
anything like that. But everybody knew their brands.
Yeah.
Everyone knew the brands that they wore, which was beautiful, clean designs and a clear value communicated consistently. It
Yeah.
was absolutely masterly how they handled all of that.
Yeah, consistency builds recognition over time because you're people are going to remember you. And subtlety keeps it authentic, not pushy. Again, you don't want to come off pushy.
Right, right. Well, listen, action number four is listen to your customers and engage thoughtfully. So think of engaging quietly. This is a big thing, Rich. What's your thoughts?
Well, quiet branding means prioritizing listening over broadcasting. Respond to feedback with care. And I talk to a lot of clients when you get reviews on Google reviews,
Yeah,
or you get a thing, is to respond back to the feedback.
yeah.
If it's positive, thank them and
Mhm.
say it was a real pleasure serving you. And if it's negative, you have an opportunity to respond to that feedback with care and look professional.
Yeah. And let me give you a great example of this. Bombas donates a sock every time you buy a sock.
Just one sock, just one.
Two socks, guys. Two socks. They say so much by doing that. They're basically, I think, that thanking has been replaced with gratitude. For them to be able to do what they do, they're so grateful that they give the other sock away. But guess what? They've got you in on that too. You're
Yeah.
sharing the same mission that they have. So you, by purchasing from them, because they're totally listening to their consumers,
Yeah.
you are part of their mission. It's
Exactly.
amazing.
So they give away one sock and you have to buy the second one for the same price. So no, actually, Bomba socks are great. I got a pair for my
It's so
wife.
good.
They're her favorite socks. She's just like, I
Ooh.
love these socks. So what we're saying here is to engage in small, meaningful ways. Things like sending a personalized email. And you could read all about that in Hug Your Customer. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's an incredible book, Hug Your Customer. Thoughtful social posts or community involvement. I talk to my clients all the time, especially hyper local clients, to sponsor little league teams and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah. And when you were talking about the social posts, I immediately think, during my day, if I come upon somebody who's saying things like, we just got some new products, it's a retail store or something, and it's local. I go and share it in stories
mhm.
because I'm amplifying their voice. And then I usually put a little something down at the bottom and say, oh my gosh, I literally walked in there. They had exactly what I needed, and I got out of there. Amazing store. You got to go here.
Yeah,
So I backed up the reaction of how I felt. Well, that's engaging. That's a small little way. And people really love that. I kind of feel like these quiet interactions, they really show your value,
yeah,
to your customers, and they build trust just one little moment at a time. I just think it's
yeah.
amazing.
Well, it's interesting. Like I look at around the holidays, I tip my mail person and also the sanitation person.
Yeah.
And the mail person is smart. She drops off a little index card wishing me happy holidays with her address on it. So it makes it super easy for me to thank her because I just sent her an Amazon gift card through the mail and
Yeah.
she loves it. And here's the gratitude. She then sends me a thank you note, handwritten thank you note
Right.
for the Amazon gift card. Now, my sanitation driver who picks up my garbage, um, he doesn't do anything like that, and I have to tape the money to the garbage can, and then he gets out, and I'll be honest, I watch him,
Yeah.
and he, it's like a imposition for him to get out of the truck
Yeah.
and go get the money. And if you think about how many homes he picks up from and what kind of tips he probably gets, he's probably pulling down $4, $5, $6,000 in tips. And I
And
go, there's no gratitude, no thank you, no nothing. That's the difference between the two.
big difference, two
Yeah.
big differences for sure.
So let's wrap it up. Let me do a quick recap of our 4 action items for mastering quiet branding. Number 1, be authentically you, like Patagonia. Number 2, under promise, over deliver, like Zappos. Number 3, use subtle, consistent messaging, like Trader Joe's. And number 4, listen and engage quietly, like Bombas. Okay?
Yeah, because in this noisy world, everybody, a soft, authentic voice can resonate deeply and build trust that lasts.
Yeah. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay humble, stay real, and we'll see you next time at the best small business show.
And let's keep this momentum going. Hit the subscribe button and spread the word far and wide. LinkedIn, Instagram, X, Threads, Blue Sky, you name it, whatever you're on, drop the hashtag the best small business show in your post, and let's grow this amazing community together.
And before we wrap, a massive thank you to our podcast producer and editor, Richard Scalzo, for making us sound sharp every week. Now go out there and make things happen and absolutely own your week. We'll see you next time on the best small business show.